Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are discussing the 90 books that I read in 2024. Now, I was gonna do like a sit down video and have all the books and then discuss them one by one, but then I was like, I read 90 books. Like, that's a lot. I'm not bringing books from my room down here so I could show you guys the physical book, because that's what I was gonna do at first. And then I was like, I'll just put a picture on the screen like I do whenever I'm like reading a Kindle book or something and I don't physically own it. And then I was like, that's boring. So I'm doing a tier ranking. Okay, I'm sitting here and I'm like transferring things to my laptop so I can edit. And I forgot that I actually wanted to do my reading stats from Goodreads, so my phone screen will be here. But anyways, so I read 90 books this year. My goal was 60, so I definitely surpassed the goal. This year my goal is going to be 75. I read 35,634 pages. That's actually a lot if you think about it. My shortest book this year was Virgin Territory at 149 books. 149 pages. Court of Wings and Ruin is my longest book at 703 pages. My average book length in 2024 is 395 pages, which I'd say is not bad. My most shelved book is It Ends With Us. Least shelved book is Virgin Territory. I'm honestly not surprised either. I have not seen this anywhere on social media. My boyfriend actually picked this out for me, so. My average rating for 2024 was 4.1. I was very generous with ratings this year, and I think I am, or for 2024, I mean, and I think for 2025, I'm definitely gonna think about my ratings, especially since I'm doing YouTube now, and so I'm giving you guys my ratings and my opinions about it. I need to actually, like, think about it instead of just being like, yep. And you'll see in this tier ranking, like, most of the ones that I put on the bottom, or like the second to the bottom, I've actually rated them like 3 or 4 stars. But now looking back at it, I would have rated them like a 2 or a 1, you know? My highest rated on Goodreads is A Court of Mist and Fury. It has a 4.66 average rating, which is crazy. And I rated it a 5-star, so I agree with everyone on this. So enjoy the tier ranking. Bye. Okay, so here's all of the books, all 90. I do have them in order of like January to December. I put them in order. And then here's my ranking. I have God tier, which I will literally die for these books. You cannot say anything wrong about them because I will block my ears, okay? And then I have Love. So these are basically books that were 5-star, but they're not God tier, you know? Like, I wouldn't die for them necessarily. Next is You're a Vibe. So that's purely just books that I rated a 4 because of the vibe that they were giving. Because I read them for that vibe and they gave me that vibe. So, and then I have I Was Rooting For You. Those are books that I really wanted to love, but it missed the mark for me. And then I have Save Paper. That's basically, if I can go back in time and not buy this book, I would. I don't have many in this category, but I do have some. Okay, so let's start. So the first book of the year was Layla by Colleen Hoover. I'm going to put this in You're a Vibe because it was a vibe. Most of the time I was like, I don't know what's going on, which I think was what she was going for, so good job. Next is The Deal. I read the whole Off-Campus series at the beginning of the year. So The Deal, I'm going to put that one in Love because that one's definitely my favorite in the series. These next 3 I'm putting in You're a Vibe. But Legacy, See, this is where it's like tough because the Legacy, I did love it, but I also like was like it wasn't necessary. So I think I'm gonna put it I was rooting for you because like I said, it was a vibe, but I rated it I think a 3 because I was like it wasn't really necessary and I could have gone without, you know. Butcher and Blackbird, you're a vibe. It was really great. Like a lot of people were describing it as a like rom-com dark romance and I was like how the fuck is that a thing? And then I read it and I was like, that's how. So it was definitely a vibe. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I'm gonna put the first one to like love because it was really good and it's set up like it was a really good first book in the series, you know what I mean? Like it was great. But the next one I'm doing You're a Vibe because it gave me the same vibes as A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but it was just like wasn't my favorite. And As Good as Dead, I was rooting for you. If you watched my end of year book tag, you'll know that I absolutely despise this book. I'm just kidding. Like I don't like despise it. I still enjoyed it somewhat, but like I wasn't happy about it. That's all I gotta say. And there's so many people that are like that's their favorite in the series and I'm like, are you forgetting that like the main character just kind of like isn't doing what her normal character would do? Like I don't know, whatever. Next is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm gonna put this one as love because again, great first book in a series. A Court of Mist and Fury, however, God tier. That's all I gotta say. I love that book. It was such a good book. The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, that was a vibe. A cute Valentine's Day romance. Court of Wings and Ruin, God tier. I don't want to hear about it. I loved both of those books, and for different reasons. I loved Court of Mist and Fury for the romance, like the romance was chef's kiss and that, and Court of Wings and Ruin was great for the war aspect and that type of vibe, and I loved both of them in their own ways. Chase Me by Tessa Bailey. So these three are a series, like Chase Me, Need Me, and Make Me. They're like a little trilogy, and they're each like 100 and some pages. Like they're really small. I don't know why this one does not match the rest of the series, but whatever. I'm gonna put them all as You're a Vibe because I solely picked them up because I needed a quick, easy read that I didn't have to think that much. Especially after reading A Court of Wings and Ruin, I needed just to numb my brain. Court of Frost and Starlight, also a vibe. I loved it, don't get me wrong. I rated it a 4, okay? But it's a vibe. Like, a lot of people will say that you can skip it and whatever. You can. I'm not saying you don't. You can't. You can definitely skip this book. But I personally didn't because I literally needed every single thing in this book. I'll like literally read them going grocery shopping. I don't care. So, but needless to say, it is a vibe. Because it's just a Christmas like novella thing. There's not much going on. Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. Again, don't know why it's this cover. I hate these covers. This is gonna be a vibe because they're not like change my life type of book. I don't constantly think about them like any of the books in this series. I mean, like I'll think about them sometimes, but then I'm like I don't remember which book that is in the series because I think there's 6 of them and they're all the same type of thing. They're mafia romances, but they were good. I read them all, like not all of them in one sitting, like one book at a time, like in a sitting. Yeah. Emily Wild's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Safe paper. So this is just a me thing. I don't think I am a cozy fantasy girly. I really thought I was gonna love this book because I don't know. But I was pushing through it. And why didn't I DNF? Don't know. I don't know. Oreo. Anyways, yeah, I just don't think I'm a cozy fantasy girly. And then I also tried to read the next book, which is Emily Wild's Map of the Other Lands, I think. I think I got 30% through, and I DNF'd it. Well, I soft DNF'd it because I've never hard DNF'd anything. I think that's going to be a goal this year to, like, DNF books if I need it, but we're going to retry that book, though, this year, I think, and see. But for now, this is safe paper. Next is Yours Truly. I'm going to put that in love. This book introduced me to Abby Jimenez, and I absolutely love her writing. I love the way that she portrays anxiety in this book. It is so amazing. The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. That's also a vibe. Wretched by Emily McIntyre. This one, you're a vibe. Things We Never Got Over, I'm going to do that as a vibe. And same thing with Things We Hide from the Light. Those two are a vibe. I think that the books can be a little shorter. Because if you know Lucy Score, she does really long books. They're like 500, 600 pages or something. And they're romance books, so like whatever. Anyway, so I think they could have been a little shorter, and I honestly don't remember much from Things We Hide from the Light. So they're not very memorable, in my opinion. The Resort, I'm gonna do I Was Rooting for You, because throughout the whole book, really, I was very bored. Like, I never really wanted to pick up the book because I was just like, I don't really care. And again, I don't DNF books for some weird reason. And I was just very bored. But at the end, it was great. Like, the twist was very twisty. That's also because, like, for me, I turn off my brain when I'm reading these types of books. When it's like a thriller mystery type thing, I turn off my brain. I'm not trying to guess what is gonna happen next. I'm not trying to guess who's the murderer, who's doing this. I'm not trying to guess that. So I don't know. I feel like it's more enjoyable if I do it that way. And yeah. But so yeah, I'm gonna put it in I Was Rooting for You because I love the ending. But the rest of it was just a mess for me. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I'm gonna put that as love because this book was also really good. I've only read these two by Abby Jimenez so far, and I love both of them. They're both 5 stars, and I'm very excited for her next book coming out. But, so yeah, they're just gonna be love because they're not quite God tier because, like, I'm not constantly thinking about them, but I am sometimes, and I love it. Things We Left Behind. I'm putting that as love because that one was my favorite in the series. I really love Lucian and Sloane, and like I literally wanted their story from the beginning, like from the first book, because you see them like fighting in every single scene that they are together, and I loved it, and I wanted their book, and it did not disappoint, in my opinion. Survive. I'm putting that as love because it was actually really interesting. So basically, like, there's these 6 kids, and they're going on a road trip or something for their summer break or spring break, I think, maybe. Anyway, so they're in this like RV, and something happens to their tires, so they're kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere, and there's actually an assassin outside that's like trying to kill them. I don't remember why, but anyways, so this whole story takes place in one night, and it's actually pretty cool. Stolen Heir, I'm gonna do that as your vibe. That's also part of like the series with Brutal Prince. What is it called? Brutal Birthright, I think. Anyways, so that's a vibe. If you had been with me, don't hate me, but I'm putting it at God tier. I think about this book all the time. Literally all the time. And then I start crying. Not really, but I'm gonna cry if I think about it for too long. I just love it. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just, yeah. By a Thread, I'm gonna put it as love. I was gonna put it as God tier because I absolutely love this book. But I'm actually gonna do love because I don't really remember much. But at the time, it was the best book in the world. Forget Me Not. I'm gonna do I Was Rooting For You. I just remember the guy being so rude for a good majority of the time. I don't remember anything else. Dragon Fruit. Safe Paper. Dragon Fruit, I remember just being like, okay, I don't know what's going on because they kept just throwing more things to add to the plot and whatever. I was like, what is going on? And then I was just lost in the sauce, like, honestly. Like, I didn't know what was going on. Heartstopper, putting that as love because I love the entire series. Betting on You, You're a Vibe. I feel like any Lynn Painter book is really just like a vibe. Lose You to Find Me by B. Celeste. Love. I'm putting that one as love. Done and Dusted. I'm gonna go love. It was a great book to start off the series, like introduce us to characters and whatever. The next Heartstoppers, I'm putting them in love because, again, love the whole series. It's great. Caraval, You're a Vibe. It was definitely something. I really enjoyed it, actually, and I am excited to get into the rest of the series. Heather and Lark. I'm also putting this as You're a Vibe because it was in the same, like, wavelength as Butcher and Blackbird. I loved the vibes. I loved how it was funny, but also dark at the same time. Reappearance of Rachel Price. I'm putting it as love because it was actually pretty good. Again, twist got me because I wasn't thinking. Savage Lover, this is also in the Brutal Birthright series. It's also going to go in You're a Vibe. Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. That's like her first series. It's like blue. It's like the blue cover. Anyways. Do you hear that? That's my cat. Oreo? What is wrong with you? Anyways, this one I'm also gonna do You're a Vibe because I don't really remember much about what's happening. That's what happens when you read cowboy romances. They're kind of all the same. But it's a vibe. I am excited to continue the series. So, yeah, I still loved it. Heartstopper, love. Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. I heard a lot of people don't like this book. I enjoyed it, but I am putting it as You're a Vibe. Because love the concept of, like, he professionally objects to weddings and then he recruits her. I loved it. Next, another Heartstopper, love. Bloody Heart, that's also in the Brutal Birthright series, so You're a Vibe. Brutal Obsession by S. Mastery. This is the Hockey God series. This one's the first one. I'm gonna do You're a Vibe because I was not expecting it to actually be that dark when I first read it. I think it's my first, like, actually dark romance. But it was good. It was definitely a vibe. Vengeance of the Pirate Queen. Love. Swift and Saddled. You're a Vibe. It wasn't as good as Done and Dusted. I don't know what was different. Say You Swear. God tier. Don't care what you guys say. It's God tier. I love that book. I think about it every day. And I also just read Promise Me Not at the beginning of this year. And it made me want to reread Say You Swear. Mile High, You're a Vibe. I really love that one too. It Ends With Us. I'm gonna put it as love because you know what? She did a good job portraying what it's like being a woman in a relationship like that. And I really appreciated that. Next is Devious Obsession by S. Massery. This is the second book in the Hockey God series. I was rooting for you because I'm not gonna lie, this one was basically no plot. There's pretty much no plot. I think at one point she gets kidnapped and that's about it. The Right Move, I'm also doing that one as Your Vibe. Actually, I'm doing it as love because I love that one a little bit more than Mile High. Just because she's a book girly and she's like teaching him how to be a book boyfriend. And I loved it. I really did love it. Broken Vow, that's a part of the Brutal Birthright series as well. Your Vibe. Same thing with Heavy Crown. Also the Brutal Birthright series. Powerless, I'm putting that one as God tier because I love that series so much. I ate that shit up. Okay? Same thing with Powerful. Should I do it as love or God tier? Love. I'm doing it as love because it's just a little novella, so yeah, but it was amazing. I know a lot of people are like, we don't need this, and I'm like, I will literally consume any book that she gives me in this series, like literally. Reckless, I'm doing love. It was good. I loved being in this world. But it was a little repetitive. I was kind of tired of the chasing. Caught Up. God tier. Because I love this one. Belladonna. Now this is a reread for me. I'm putting it as love. If I would have done this tier ranking when I first read this, it would be God tier. Because it's great. I loved it. Not saying I don't love it anymore. But since I reread it, it's just love because, so this book has mystery in it. Like, it's kind of like a mystery type of vibe. She's trying to find out who's poisoning people. And I already knew who was poisoning people, obviously, because I've already read this book. So it was kind of slow reading it because I already knew what was happening and I was kind of just avoiding it a little bit. So it's only love because I still love this book. But rereading it was kind of like not the vibe. Wildfire, I'm doing love because it's definitely better than Icebreaker. Definitely. Don't remember what happened in Icebreaker, if I'm being quite honest. I read that in 2023, so yeah, but it was definitely better. 7 Year Slip, I'm doing that one as God tier because I love the magical realism. Is that what it's called? Yes, I love that in it, and I will definitely be rereading this often, I feel. Play Along, also God tier because I loved it. I'm very excited for the next book in the series. I'm not gonna lie to you. Next is Secret Obsession. I don't remember what's going on, so I'm gonna do Your Vibe. Pumpkin Spice Cafe, Your Vibe. Because not much was happening, but I solely picked this up to be a fall read and a fall vibe, and that's what it gave me, so yeah. Foxglove, it's with Belladonna, and it was also a reread. So I'm also gonna do it a love because again, there's a little bit of a mystery. I already knew what happened, so, but it was still great. Daydream, also love because again, better than Icebreaker. And I loved, she's a book girly and whatever, and they're fake dating, and I loved that. And I also just love Henry. I really wanted his book since the first book. So I'm so happy that we got him. Spell Shop, Safe Paper. I don't remember what was happening in this book, if I'm being quite honest. I don't know if that is a me problem, because I was listening to it on audiobook, but I wanted to play my video game. So I was playing my video game while playing Spell Shop, while listening to Spell Shop. So it could be a me problem because I was playing my video game, but I don't remember anything that was happening. Safe Paper. Binding 13. That's God tier. Don't care what you guys say, because I loved this book. Loved it. Okay? I love Johnny and Shannon. It was a great book to start the Boys of Tommen series. I am excited to continue the series. I've only read Binding and Keeping 13 so far, but I will continue the rest of the series in 2025. I promise you. So that being said, Keeping 13 is also God tier, and I don't want to hear anything about it because, yeah, I was not expecting these two books to be so heartbreaking and so deep, because there was a lot of hard topics in this book. I thought it was just going to be like a cute little romance of, like, you know, them meeting and he plays rugby and whatever. Like, I thought it was going to be that, and that's why I was like putting it off, because I was like, why are the books so big for no reason? But it's because they actually need to be that big, and they actually need to be bigger, because I need more of Johnny and Shannon. I can't do it. So this is a trilogy by, what's her name? Leah Riley, I think. So it's Mr. Hockey, Head Coach, and Virgin Territory. I don't like these two covers where there's a man on it. So, anyways. They're all purely a vibe. They're purely just there to give me what I need. Because, again, I think they're like 200 pages or something each. So, like, they were really just there to... Because, again, I read Binding and Keeping 13, and I just needed something to cleanse the palate. Something to make me stop crying and stop obsessing over Johnny and Shannon. But I also started a reading slump while reading Virgin Territory. So it quite literally took me a month to read this 200-page book because I was in a reading slump. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that it's because this book is bad. It's not. It's just because I had a problem. And then I read Fourth Wing. Reread Fourth Wing. It's my third time reading it. It will always be God tier, I fear. Always. Because I absolutely love this book. And I reread it because Onyx Storm is coming out this month. I'm so excited. Don't even. I'm so excited. Anyways, so I reread it because Onyx Storm is coming out January 21st. And because I was watching Destiny Sidwell's video of how to get out of a book slump, because I think she was also in a book slump around the same time. And so she did that video, and she said to reread a book that you know you love, and this is Fourth Wing for me. It will always be my favorite, because I think it was the first fantasy book I've ever read, and I loved it. I love it, and you can't say anything about it. I don't care. I will block my ears if you say anything bad about this book. Also, if you guys don't like this book, that is okay. I just want to disclaim that. It is okay that if you don't like this book, because I understand, but I don't understand. Anyways, next is Alpha Inmate and Alpha Ruined. Don't know the author's name, okay? I read these purely because I was scrolling on TikTok one morning, and there was a scene from this book on TikTok. Like, someone was trying to convince me to read it, so they put like a random scene, and I was sold, and I checked my Kindle to see if it was on Kindle Unlimited, and it was. So yeah, they're both just a vibe, because they were quick, easy They gave me what I needed. I'm pretty sure it was a fever dream, if I'm being quite honest, because Alpha Inmate, I was literally up at 6:30 scrolling on TikTok, and then I see that, and I downloaded it on my Kindle, and then I finished it at 11 o'clock, and then I got ready for work, and then I went to work. Like, it was just such a weird thing. Like, I read that all in one sitting, so I'm pretty sure I was having a fever dream or something. I don't know. But they were a vibe. Next, so this is all my December reads, so you guys probably saw my December reading wrap up. If you didn't, go check it out. So yeah, these are all going to be my December reading wrap up. But first is Chasing the Puck. Again, saw a scene or quote or something on TikTok, and then I checked Kindle Unlimited and it was on there, so I was like, okay, cool. So it's a vibe. Fierce Obsession. Fierce Obsession, I think, is also going to be a vibe. I did like this more than the rest of the series. I just have one more book left in the series, and I am currently reading it, so I'll keep you updated which one's my favorite in my January reading wrap up. But yeah, that one so far is my favorite. The Inmates, I am gonna go with Your Vibe. It was my first book by Frida McFadden, so I didn't know what to expect. I know a lot of people were like, oh my god, her writing is so predictable, her plot twists are not plot twisty. I turn off my brain, so I don't know. The plot twist got me, if I'm telling you. Like, it was good. Next of Kin, love. First book by Hannah Bonham Young, not disappointed. I literally bought the rest of the books that are on her backlist, and I will continue to do so, and I'm very excited to read her books this year. I will read all of them, I fear, because it was really good. My December Darling, I'm doing it as You're a Vibe because it was just a Christmas novella by Lauren Asher. I love Lauren Asher's books. I'm saying that, but I've only read Dreamland Billionaire series, but I loved it. Anyways, but yeah, it's purely just a vibe. It's a Christmas book. Christmas books are never really like something, you know. They're purely there just for vibes. So I'm gonna do same thing for How My Neighbor Stole Christmas because it was cute. I love the competition aspect. I also felt like it could have just been a little shorter, but that's just my opinion. Love Life Farms, I think I'm going to do that as a love because it is a Christmas book, but it's not. Like, it's not, you can read it during the winter. It's not just specifically for Christmas. So it's really cute. Christmas Tree Farm. Which one am I going to put it as? I'm in between these two. I was rooting for you or Save Paper because, I think I'm going to do Save Paper. I listened to this on Spotify, and I'm glad I did because I think if I was actually reading the book, I probably would have DNF'd it, because they forgot the plot pretty much the whole time, and I think they just wanted to sleep with each other. So I think I would have just listened to this. So that's why I'm saying, like, just Save Paper, because, like, I wouldn't have actually read the book. But I do love the cover. That's the only reason why, like, I would have probably still bought this book, because, like, I love the cover. But anyways, but just know it's kind of in between I Was Rooting for You and Save Paper. The Christmas fix, I'm putting that as I Was Rooting for You because I love Lucy Score. I was rooting for you because I love her books so far. I've only read 4, but whatever, or 5 now. But so I love her books, but this just hit the, like, it missed the mark for me. Wasn't very Christmassy. I don't know. I was pushing through this book. If Only I Had Told Her. So this is the second book to If You Had Been With Me. I'm putting that as love because it was great. A lot of people say that we could have gone without this book, and I don't disagree, but I don't agree either. Like, I can see why people are like, we don't need this book, because do we need to be heartbroken all over again? No. But did I enjoy the story? Yes. Like, I love that we got Finney's point of view, and then I also love that we saw how his best friend Jack and how Autumn coped from what happened, like, after it happened. Like, I loved seeing the grief. Like, that sounds so bad for me to say, but I loved seeing how they were grieving and how they healed and how they grew from the situation. I loved it. So yeah, putting it as love. It's not God tier, but it's love. And then last but certainly not least, Lost and Lassoed. I'm putting that as love. So this is the third book in, what is it called? Rebel Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage. So it's with Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddled. So yeah, I'm putting that as love because it's so far my favorite book in this series. There's one more coming out. I know it's in 2025, but I don't remember when. But this was definitely my favorite. I've wanted Teddy and Gus's story since the first book, and I'm very excited that we finally got it, and it did not disappoint. It did not. So yeah. So that's my tier ranking. I think it was pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed this tier ranking. I know I had fun. I hope you guys got some recs from this. I know I'm very excited to continue series that I have on here. And it was kind of like crazy to see all the books like in one thing. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.